Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad, brought to you by OU Health. And now, here's your host, Abbi Bennett.
Thanks for tuning into Sooner Sports Pad. I'm Abbi Bennett, and standing alongside me are our lovely analysts, Mady Daddario and Shannon Ehrhardt. You guys, how are we feeling about tonight's show?
Fantastic. I'm so excited to get started.
I'm excited as well.
We love the energy. Now, looking ahead in tonight's show, our very own Mady Daddario will tell us what's going on behind the scenes of OU football.
And later on in Faceoff, Shannon and I talk who our Sooner MVP is for spring sports.
And you guys know that opening day is only 3 days away. I'm excited to talk about who our way too early World Series predictions are.
Can't wait. Now, Mady and Shannon, Women's Gym hosted the Norman Regional Tournament that began on Thursday, where they clinched the highest score in the country out of all the regional tournaments. But on Saturday, they punched their ticket straight to the NCAA championship. It was an incredible night for the Sooners as they began their first rotation on floor, where Jordan Bowers and Reagan Smith took home the event with a 9.95. But that was not the only impressive score for Reagan Smith, because her and another teammate put up near perfect scores. Olivia Troutman received the highest score on vault with a 9.975, and Reagan Smith took home the title on beam, also adding a score of 9.975. And not to mention, the Sooners tallied their highest vault score this season with a 49.6. This is the 18th straight season where OU women's gymnastics, are headed to the championships, and their final score of a 198.25 is what helped them earn the spot. And I just cannot emphasize how excited I am for the championship.
I can't either, Abby. And the thing is that this isn't even the highest score that OU has posted all season. Yet they put up 198.25. Crazy.
Yeah, and if you missed that action on Saturday, don't worry, because Sooner Sports Pad's Parker Abels has the recap.
I'm here at the Lloyd Noble Center, where on Saturday, the Oklahoma Sooners women's gymnastics team won the Norman Regional Championship with a score of 198.25. The Oklahoma Sooners will now advance to the national championship semifinals. The Sooners were led by junior Reagan Smith, who struggled on bars but bounced back with a big 9.975 on the beam. Coach KJ Kindler said after the meet that the beam was what she needed to gain more confidence and refocus herself. Senior Olivia Troutman had a stellar performance as well with a 9.975 on vault, and freshman Jordan Bowers had a solid performance, getting 2 9.5s on floor and vault. The Minnesota Golden Gophers placed second in the meet and will join the Sooners in Fort Worth, Texas from April 14th through 16th at the National Championship semifinals. Parker Abels, Sooner Sports Pad.
Now, I said it last week, and absolutely nothing has changed my mind that this team is taking home a natty, because they are just amazing. But Mady and Shannon, this isn't the only Sooner spring sports team that we can harp on. So who's your Sooner team of the week? Let's hear it.
My Sooner team of the week is OU men's tennis, you guys. They opened conference play with a dub over OS who? I don't even dare say their name. It's always a big-time match, and they won at home, and it proves that Oklahoma is a Sooner state. Now, they opened up doubles at a deficit, but that really did not matter, Mady. They came back and fought off a lot of match points. Jordan Hassan and Justin Schlattler got off the courts quickly, and Mark Mandelis also took care of business, as you can see. But it came down to the very end, where Alex Martinez clinched a 4-3 win over the Pokes. Now they're 11-1 at home, and they advanced to 13-5 on the season. They have to keep this fuel and momentum going against Tech and Baylor, who they face later this week.
Yeah, Shannon, I've loved to see OU tennis put themselves on the map this year. It's been super awesome. And listen, I know that this team could be the Sooner team of the week every single week this season, but I'm going to have to go with OU softball. Let me hear it. OU softball dominated the plate so much this week, you would have thought it was a home run derby. Starting off on Tuesday, taking on Wichita State, Grace Lyons hit 3 home runs in a single game for the second time in her career. And Jordan Ball on the mound, you know she's unstoppable, striking out 11 batters. They took down Wichita State 10-1. Now moving on to the weekend, they took on the University of Alabama at Birmingham in a 2-game series. And while these 2 games had drastically different scores, home runs were still the name of the game for the Sooners. Starting off on Friday, we had Jocelyn Allo, Grace Lyons again, and Jada Coleman all hit one out of the park and contribute multiple RBIs for the team. And then moving on to Saturday, it was actually 0-0 until the bottom of the 6th when Jada Coleman once again and Lindsay Alum hit it out of the park, both of them each, finishing the game, saving the Sooners, winning 2-0.
We've said it before that the OU softball team, every game is a home run derby. You
Absolutely.
said that yourself. They are filthy, and it's great to see them get out there every single game and absolutely dominate.
And sell out every game, not to mention that.
Yeah, seriously. The new stadium is only going to have 3,000 seats. That's nowhere near enough.
Nowhere. They need a palace on the prairie.
Yeah.
They do need the
Those
balance
games,
on the
you guys,
prairie.
are sold out every single time. I mean, it's packed. Crazy good atmosphere. Now, coming up, our very own analyst, Mady Daddario, had the chance to sit down with a former OU athlete and what he is doing to help out the football program. Stick around.
Sooner Sports Pad is brought to you by OU Health. The future of health is here. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. New episodes drop every day. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino. Thanks to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health and Anheuser-Busch, and our community partners, Fowler Auto Group, OU Health, OG&E, and Coca-Cola.
Welcome back. Now, Mady, it's no secret that first-year head coach Brent Venables is bringing a new standard to OU football, but I heard you got a little insight on how he plans to do it.
Yeah, Abby, obviously Coach Venables is bringing some major changes on the field, and I had the opportunity to sit down with a former Sooner player who Coach has brought in as a mentor, but not a mentor to help players with their game, rather the price they're paid to play it. Check it out. The moment Brent Venables stepped off the plane in Norman, a new era of OU football began. But a new era brings new responsibilities, and for Coach Venables, that means starting with the person, not the player.
And what the fit is, find people first. Yeah, they got to be talented. That goes without saying. They got to be a great player. But we're going to look for people first, because I think that's what sustains.
Something Coach Venables is capitalizing on is setting his players up for when they trade their football helmets for graduation caps. Knowing he couldn't do this alone, Coach brought in a former player who understands the importance of succeeding on and off the field.
Guys come here to perform at a high level and potentially make it to the NFL. And there's a lot of guys that put all their eggs in that basket and they're not able to succeed outside of that without some type of financial backing.
The new opportunity for athletes to profit off of their image only increased the importance of financial guidance.
And so I think it's going to be wise for them to be smart with their money, especially when they don't have anyone at home telling them what to do.
One key factor, these guys needed a mentor they could relate to.
They need somebody that looks like them, that has performed like them, that has the same pressures of them, and then someone that's successful outside of football.
Crediting Coach Venables for being ahead of the game, Broyles feels his person-first philosophy is exactly what these young athletes need.
So he's put guys in position to come in here and not just think about the athlete on the field. He's looking at guys after life. What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? Who are they dating? What's their mental like? And I think that's what's beneficial. He's building men outside of football. And at the end of the day, that's what sports is about.
For Sooner Sports Pad, Mady Daddario.
Now, don't go anywhere because these two will share who OU's MVP is in this week's Faceoff. Ooh. Thanks for sticking with us. It is time for Faceoff. Audience, are we ready? Okay, now to start us off, I have not had enough good things to say about all of our Sooner spring sports teams, and I know you guys can agree, but I want to know, who's your Sooner MVP so far?
Well, we can't mention Sooner MVPs and not mention the home run queen, Jocelyn Allo. In my opinion, Jocelyn Allo is one of those OU athletes who's so talented. She's become a brand for OU athletics, and rightfully so. She is so consistent and strong behind the plate, and that is something that's super rare. Even just as a freshman going all the way back to 2018, she was already leading the NCAA in home runs with, I believe, 31 home runs. As a freshman, that is crazy, and we can't talk about Jocelyn Allo in home runs without mentioning that less than a month ago, she broke the NCAA all-time home run record in her home state of Hawaii. That was amazing, with 96 home runs. And like I said, that was less than a month ago. Now that number is up to 104. And if that doesn't prove that Jocelyn Allo is truly a Sooner MVP, I don't know what does. Like I said earlier, she has become one of those athletes that's a brand for OU, like Baker Mayfield, like Maggie Nichols. And to me, that is the true definition of an MVP.
You know, I think that her title as queen, home run queen, could not be said enough. But I was talking to her, and she still calls Lauren Chamberlain home run queen. I'm like, nope, the crown is passed to you.
Does she even know who she is? Like,
On top of that, humble.
She's so, one of the most humble athletes I think I've ever met, and that's how it should be, especially being that good. She leaves
There's
me
not enough
speechless.
good things to say about her, truly.
She leaves me speechless. But my Sooner MVP has to go to an OU gymnast who is just settling to college, Jordan Bowers. Jordan Bowers is a human highlight reel, and there's no doubt about that. 5 of her scores, like Abby mentioned earlier, were 9.95 or better. She only had 199, which isn't even bad at all. And you guys, she is emulating a legend, a very similar legend that we all know of, Maggie Nichols. Swaggy Maggie. Her freshman season had 3 9.95s and a 9.9 during regionals. Bowers is seriously the nucleus of this team. Her confidence and poise as a freshman makes a huge difference. And the awareness that she has in each event stems from that fierce energy that she has. She's got glue on the bottom of her feet, you guys. She sticks the landing and she is not going anywhere. And the fact that she's only a freshman blows my mind.
And I think the word confidence is, you hit the nail on the head with that, because as a freshman, it can be so easy to let your nerves get the best of you, especially in a sport like gymnastics, where, I mean, even Simone Biles, one of the best. We saw what happened in the Olympics. So to be able to come in as a freshman and be so poised, calm, cool, and collected, that is rare. Ice in her veins. Ice in her veins.
And her reliability for this team is off the charts, and she's so consistent every single time. And I don't know how she doesn't get nervous, because I'm a senior and I get nervous doing anything in front of a big crowd, but she just performs every time.
So good. Can't say enough good things about her. I mean, she's incredible. But moving on, spring training just begun and MLB regular season ball kicks off on Thursday. So you guys, this might be a super early hot take, but who do you think is taking home the World Series?
Well, I have to go with an AL dark horse, the Chicago White Sox. The Chicago White Sox, they had a 93-win season in 2021. They won the AL Central with ease. Now they've had a quiet offseason, but that's a good thing. They're returning basically their entire lineup. They have a top 5 offense, and they're by far the best in their division. There's no competition for them at all. Now, the power of the batting order is absolutely unquestioned. The way that they're able to get out there and swing the bat as hard as they possibly can and make something happen every single time. Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, Larry Garcia, Andrew Vaughn, all of those guys, and only just to name a few, are off the charts, yeah. They have such a strong bullpen, too, with Liam Hendricks and Lucas Giolito, and pitching is the primary reason that propels the team to be so competitive, and we saw that in the World Series with the Atlanta Braves and how deep that ran. Now, they are definitely talented enough to win it all, and they know that they can do it. They've made the postseason the past 2 years, and now they are ready for a World Series win and at least a shot at it. What is going to be so important for the White Sox, though, is to make sure that they get on base this season, and that in those low-scoring matches that they end up pulling away and giving it their all.
Well, Shannon, I think that's a great pick for the American League, but you might as well rename my pick the National League All-Star Team, because that's basically what the LA Dodgers are. A World Series is practically written for this team. Signing Freddie Freeman this year will not only be huge behind the plate, but he also makes it so that the entire Dodgers infield are all MLB All-Stars. And 2 of the 3 outfielders are All-Stars as well. So we're pretty covered on defense, and that's not even to mention the pitching staff led by lefty Clayton Kershaw, and it goes strong all the way down to bullpen. Like I said, there's no shortage of talent on the defense or the offense. And then on top of that, their manager is Dave Roberts, and he's done amazing things for this team already and has even gone on record. He said, put this on the record to say that he guarantees a Dodgers World Series win this year, and that is a bold take to have before they've even started playing.
Wow.
Mady, I can't argue with you because they do have the most talented roster in the entire league, and they're so talented on paper. But can they pull it off on the field? They didn't win the division title last season. So.
And I get that, and I am someone who I don't like the way too early predictions because you never know what happens in sports. But like I said, I feel like this is written for them. It's like those NBA teams that become these NBA super teams that no one can beat. And I feel like this is the MLB version of that.
I think it'd be a disappointment if they didn't make it to
I
the
agree.
World
I think it'd be a
Series,
disappointment if they didn't win.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a letdown. But.
Great hot takes, both of you. Now, audience, this is my favorite segment. I think you can agree that it's yours too. Let's see y'all's viral videos.
So as a sports journalist, I definitely appreciated this. And this is by far some of the funniest and most authentic reporting I've ever seen. Check it out.
Before I let you go, Hastings, I saw Jermichael Green warming up behind you. Any word yet on if he's able to go tonight? I think he was questionable coming into this game.
I'll ask him. Where'd he go?
Yeah,
Hey,
he was on the...
Hey, Jermichael, you playing? No, he's not playing. That's how you do it. I don't know why you gotta wait for all these letters. Why you gotta wait for all these letters and stuff to come out? Just ask the dude. He said he wasn't playing.
I don't know if my favorite part about that was him asking the question or just how casual he was the whole time with his arm on the chair at the end. Like, I love that. It was very authentic.
I wish that we could do that.
I
It makes
know.
life so much
Make
easier.
life a
way
lot
to get your
easier.
answer. I mean, come on.
I know,
He's right
just
behind you.
Yeah, seriously, just ask him. He's probably in one of your classes too. You can just say, "Hey, what are you thinking?"
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Okay, I have to revert kind of back to the MLB as we've mentioned before. Opening day is just in 4 days, and I'm so excited. Okay, so the Chicago White Sox, I talked about them earlier. This happened on March 22nd. Check out what Luis Robert did from center field. You're not going to believe it. Everybody has to have one teammate like this. He's acting like there's nobody in left field, but there's Eloy Jimenez just standing there. Just standing there like a statue. He goes right across of Eloy's face. Luis Roberts does not care. But the acceleration and the timing to get there, that's very
My
impressive.
favorite part is you could tell that was not the first time that happened because he was just standing there. He was prepared for it.
It's happened a handful of times. And Eloy's just like, all right, man, you got it. Let me just
I love
step out of
how
the
chill
way.
he is. He's
Yeah.
just standing there observing the
His
ball.
job.
It's like, whoa, okay. Okay, audience, now it is your time to declare this week's Face-Off winner. If you think it was Mady, let's hear it. Hey, lots of fans in the crowd. If you think it was Shannon, cheer louder.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that.
You can
do better than that. My number one fan over
Give
there.
this win to the undefeated queen, Mady. This week's Face-Off.
At least I'm losing to the best.
I don't
Because
lose.
when we come back, I will give you all the Sooner sports coming up. Plus, we have a fun draft segment.
This Wednesday, softball will host Tulsa and Rita Hines with the first pitch starting at 6 p.m. On Friday, men's tennis will travel west to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders starting at 6 p.m. And also on Friday, women's tennis will take on Iowa State in Ames beginning at 4 p.m. Now, last month was so we just want So, Mady and Shannon, let's hear your favorite MVP, female athletes of all time. We've been talking about MVPs all night, so. I know. So, for my first greatest female athlete of all time, if you've seen King Richard recently, you might know why. I have Venus Williams. Venus changed. I know everyone thinks of Serena now, but Venus really changed the game for women's sports. Starting her professional career off at 15 years old and getting her first Grand Slam at 16. How can you not say she's one of the greatest athletes of all time? I think she's one of the greatest, not just female. Not to mention the fact that she also was a major impact on how much women got into the sport. She brought in a huge crowd of women. She wasn't getting paid there, and eventually came around. I don't know. There's a lot of great things out there about her. I encourage everyone to do research on it. But there was also who shattered Venus's records and shattered tennis balls. I gotta say that she's also one of the greatest athletes of all time. And being sisters and playing together and watching that movie and kind of how they grew up, I think was phenomenal.
Yeah, that movie was so good.
Showcase everything that they've done and the history that they've made. So definitely shout out to the Williams sisters. Great 2 picks. And for my number 2, I have my personal idol growing up, Mia Hamm. She also was someone who changed the game for women's sports. She has won 2 gold medals as well as 2 World Cups, and she is absolutely just a soccer legend. I know all 3 of us too, you know, growing up playing soccer, she for sure was someone that I'm sure we all look up to. She's just incredible. Yeah, well, I love Mia Hamm. I read so many books on her. But my second draft pick has to go to Lindsey Vonn. Lindsey Vonn is an icon for the Olympics, downhill skiing, just a master at all of it. And the fact that she's just, now she's on or NBC or something like that, broadcasting all the skiing and everything. She knows so much about it, of how good she is, so I think she's also been grounded for us. And for my final pick, I want to go with someone a little bit younger, a little bit more recent, and I picked Simone Biles. Obviously, it goes without saying, this girl is a freak of nature. She's insane. She's won 7 Olympic medals, 4 of those being gold. All right, my third, shout out to Simone Biles, love her. She's so small, too. So small. My third has to go to Allison Felix. Not only is she a mother, but she's one of the fastest women in the world, and she's still competing to this day. The fact she was a mess. I was just about to say, I love her. Yeah, I love her. She's pregnant and everything, and it's just absolutely inspiring.